Hello, this is Ghostwriter 615. My purpose is just to share information. These days, people are too busy to actually maybe sit down and read a book. But we can all use some education. We can all learn from each other. And this video is hopefully something that we can look at and maybe keep down the arguments between our Black people, our African people, our Indigenous American people, because it's been proven a long time ago that mankind, cradle of civilization, resides in Africa. What you take from that and what you call yourself is strictly upon you. But I'd like to read an excerpt from Dr. Claude Anderson. He is a warrior and has been actually fighting the fight for Black history and his community for a very long time. Some of you may be acquainted with him, others not, but let's get into it. You can find this information in his book, Dirty Little Secrets About Black History, Its Heroes, and Other Troublemakers. Let's answer the question of who were here before the Indians. The Folsom people they were of African origin, lived in the southwestern part of the United States at least 10,000 to 15,000 years ago, according to archaeologists. If the findings are historically accurate, and I'm quite sure they are, then modern American Indians are neither Native Americans nor the first Americans. It is logical to conclude that the oldest Indian ancestors were African blacks. Clearly, all those white Americans who proclaim various amounts of Indian blood are also confessing to having various degrees of black blood in their veins. Now, we should know this is true because if mankind comes from Africa, then we all have African blood in our veins. The ancestors of modern-day American Indians crossed the Bering Straits onto the North American continent approximately 5,000 to 6,000 years ago. In June of 1997, some archaeologists claimed that European whites were in North America approximately 9,000 years ago, more than 3,000 years before Asians. Both groups came to North America after African blacks who passed across the North American continent and established communities in the Southwest. The oldest traceable population group on the North American continent were of African origin. Cities like Folsom, Arizona, and Folsom Prison are named after these great people. It is generally accepted that the ancestors of present-day American Indians were Asians who migrated across the Bering Straits approximately 5,000 to 6,000 years ago. The presence of black Africans in the Southwest may offer an explanation as to why centuries ago American Indians did not have Asian features nor yellow skin coloring. According to photographs, drawing, and written records, American Indians were dark complexion. Similarly, Asian interbreeding with blacks could have produced Indians with oval eyes. Archaeological studies strongly concluded that the Folsom people were the oldest population group on the North American continent, and they were definitely of African descent. There is a great deal of evidence that people of African descent had an early presence in North, Central, and South America long before Columbus arrived. In Central America, numerous monuments depict gods with Negro features. Columbus reported from his visit to South America that the Indians there spoke of seeing black people. Later, the Spaniards also claimed to have seen black-skinned people in Colombia and Peru. Pyramids, statues, and other stone figures throughout Central and Latin America have Negroid physical features. Then there is an equally puzzling question. What happened to the 5 million black slaves that Spain shipped into Central America between 1501 and 1650 to dig in the gold and silver mines? Did they perish, or were they assimilated into various populations throughout North, Central, and Latin America? There are many more questions that need to be asked, but this is just another fact that has been excluded from our knowledge and education. Dr. Claude Anderson goes on to say, to date, history remains largely white history. Black people as a race are virtually non-existent when historical events are described in textbooks, movies, and centennial celebrations. Their role in America is most often that of cotton pickers, marchers, or rioters. Black History Month narrowly limits contributions of black to a familiar list of 10 to 15 individuals, when in fact, blacks, though enslaved and powerless, had a profound and indelible influence on American socio-economic system. And we know that because of the free labor we provided to build up our European and American societies. Black labor was the engine that drove this nation and civilizations around the world. Slavery and its legacies shaped and continue to reveal this nation's cultural, moral, and ethical hypocrisy. The products of black labor created industrial revolutions in Britain and America. They produced social tensions that led to the Revolutionary War, Civil War, Reconstruction, and a national civil rights movement. Much information about race remains lost or buried in laws, bills of sales, newspaper reports, letters, economic analysis, and personal diaries. The purpose of this book is to unearth and expose some of the dirty little secrets hidden in the darkness of history. For example, did you know that even without the benefit of a formal education, newly freed invention patents between 1870 and 1900 numbered in the hundreds? A number of high-level elected officials, including presidents, vice presidents, and members of the U.S. Senate, had black blood and black mistresses. These are but a few of the many known dirty little secrets about black history, its heroes, and other troublemakers. I'd like to speak of something that was viewed in a video about an hour ago by me, and it talks about black Americans not wanting to be referred to as Africans and wanting to be referred to as indigenous people. In my research, I've found, and I've also listened to another doctor talk about African history and indigenous history, and he said that both frames of mind could possibly be true. We know that Africans had contact with North America long before anybody even thought it was possible. And so the remnants of those people who had crossed over long before 10 or 15,000 years ago could have still been left in North America. So we need to stop the argument. You are at liberty to call yourself whatever you wish, but no one can change facts or the truth. This is Ghost Rider 615, and I hope you look forward to a few of the videos that I will actually be dedicating to Dr. Claude's Dirty Little Secrets book and history. Thank you. I would appreciate like, subscribe, comment, do whatever you feel is necessary. All right. Thank you.